What about modes? Well, we don't know all the modes that are going to be in the game. Again, this is probably something that they're going to be revealing during the Mario Kart World Direct, but the ones we do know is, of course, the Grand Prix. But with the Grand Prix, it's interesting. Now, there seems to be a setting that you can turn on or off for what I'm about to tell you, but essentially when you have the 4 tracks, you start on the first track, you kind of race through it as you normally would, your 3 laps or whatever, but when you're done that, the first lap of the next track essentially is like getting from the first track to the second track. So you're driving kind of the in-between section from one track to another, and then you do, you know, like 2-3 laps when you actually get to the track, and then that kind of wraps up the second track, and then again the third one kind of goes in, and you're driving from the second to the third track, and so on and so forth till you get to the very end. So it's kind of cool. You got all the in-between stuff, but again, it seems like there's a setting that you can turn this off if you would like to. The next one is Knockout Tour. Knockout Tour looks like a lot of fun. It's essentially going through kind of like a Grand Prix style thing, but it's like 6 tracks back to back to back, all stringed together. Again, you're kind of driving through one lap of one track, then you're going through the path to the second track, and then the third and fourth. So it's not like multiple laps per track, but every single checkpoint, it's going to knock out the last 4 people in that kind of section. So, for example, you start off with 24 players. When you get to the first checkpoint, you're going to end up with 20 players. You get to the next checkpoint, only the top 16 are going to proceed to the next checkpoint, and then 12, and then 8, and then 4, and then, of course, the winner. So it's a really cool mode that kind of dwindles down how many people are playing, and you have to make it all the way to the end. You got to be the best through about 6 different tracks, and it just looks like an absolute blast. The next one is Free Roam. So, of course, like I said, open world, big world, free roam. Now, I think there are some things that probably Nintendo were hiding and did not have in the builds that they were playing, because Nintendo did say, I think it was Bill Trinan, if I remember correctly, that there's a lot of secrets in this world, some that they're going to be, I guess, sort of maybe kind of showing off in the Mario Kart World Direct, but also some that the players are going to explore themselves when they get hands-on with the game and kind of experience. It'd be weird that they wouldn't have any kind of, you know, stuff in the world to actually do. So I think there's a lot more to free roam than we realized. They just kind of sort of gave us a little sort of like the peak of an iceberg, right? And there's like all this iceberg below the water that we don't know about, but we just see kind of like the peak of what it could be. So I think there's a lot more to free roam that we're going to learn, hopefully. So that's that. And then now, at the time of recording this, just before I started recording this, Engadget actually revealed in their hands-on with Mario Kart World that there's a 120 FPS mode. So I guess this is not like your standard mode. I guess it's going to be a specific mode in and of itself. But there's a mode that is 120 FPS, and they said it's crazy. It's buttery smooth, and it's really cool. So again, we haven't really seen much of that. It's probably something that they're going to be talking about during the Mario Kart World Direct, but I thought it'd be worth mentioning at the end of this section.